super aura dead. You wouldn't be able to get in a taxi, bro. Like, just zero way.
Poor Alan. But honestly, yeah, I love Alan, but that dude's reels quality is generally pretty terrible.
It's cursed, man. All right,
Okay.
we got Flats Lucky and Lucky Meta Knight at that.
I was really excited for Piranha Plant, but I do remember that he did lose. I believe it was his last encounter with Flats. He did lose recently to Flats.
Yes, he did.
Was that their last encounter, though? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure if it was. I'm going to assume so.
Yeah, that was like only like 3 weeks.
I
so.
think Lucky's been exploring a lot more. So there was this brief stint back at the mall tournaments where Lucky was exploring more into Meta Knight. Yep,
my.
we got our
That
fun
was-
bridge. That's a very, very good execution from Lucky there.
Kind of beautiful.
Lucky has been exploring a lot more into, pulling out the secondaries again because Piranha Plant, I'm going to be completely real. That character's not great. He's not bad, but there's absolutely better characters in this game, and this game is filled with good ones, so it's great to have something in the back pocket.
Yeah.
And Meta Knight's a great fit for him, I think.
I saw him. I watched his set versus his loser set versus Atreus at Counter Hit, which was off stream, and he did go Meta Knight.
Okay, I think, yep, that's
Whoa.
super taking it off the top. And I love this against Rob, too, because Rob is very, very good at being hit. That's kind of his very big weakness, right? We see him just kind of die off the top. The Mock
What
Tornado
the
to cover. That was a
restart.
very, very convincing game by Lucky.
A minute and 15 seconds, almost on the dot.
Did not let Flats breathe. And I think that's very important to take note of because Flats does a very good job when you give him that room to breathe. We see this in a lot of instances, like against the Plant, where Plant, doesn't have those methods like Meta Knight does at forcing himself in, right?
Yeah, you can't overwhelm a character with Plant pretty much anywhere other than like some juggling situations and at ledge. Other than that, it's kind of just like you're in perpetual neutral.
And it's important to recognize, too, with those juggle situations, Rob can fly. Like, that dude has mix-ups after mix-ups. We're seeing the Steve counter pick from Flats here. This has been
Smiling.
well in the works here. We'll see if it works out. Everyone's kind of pulling out the Steves recently.
Yeah, Flats is something of, some would call him a tier whore, I guess.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
there's a not nice way of putting it,
But-
and there's a nice way of putting it.
Yeah, I've seen him. There was one bracket where I was running, and I forgot who he was playing, but he was feeling stuck. He went through Rob, Game & Watch, and Steve all in
I was
the
going to
same
say,
set.
so that's what I know him for. He's playing Rob, Game & Watch, Steve, and a little bit of Palutena, is from what I've heard. I think he's stopped playing Palu as much. Although, I got to be completely honest, I was playing this with Lucky at the U of M Fest, so he might have the
Love
Blaze K
recovery.
Steve experience
Yeah, the Blaze
on lock here. At the same time, he was talking about how this is, like, Meta Knight is a counter pick he is developing partially for Steve. Steve, Kazuya, Rob. There seems to be a lot of doubters with Meta Knight and Steve and how, in that instance there, usually Meta Knight doesn't have as consistent of ways to deal with Minecart as most characters do. Are we seeing it off the top?
that'll do
Dude,
it.
he is getting it so handedly.
Yeah, up 2-0 again. Honestly, like one good ladder or like one good call, or like honestly, like even if he just like plays slippery enough, this could be another 3-stock for Lucky. So Flats really has to find his way to get his way back in the race here.
Dude, you know what I just realized? Like, hearing this music so clearly and not having as much of the game audio, we are so getting this part of the stream muted, bro. Like, no way this lasts. So enjoy the commentary while it's, well, I suppose they'll upload bots, but like,
Back
this
air
is not
trading.
lasting, right? All right, we'll see. So I think Hollow Bastion is a bit rough here too because Steve is good on this stage if you can establish your lead.
Flats has not done that.
And that, yes, very clearly has not happened. And also, I don't like this as a counter pick in theory after you saw Lucky breathe down your neck so hard in neutral here because you're not really getting the space that you need, right? But it's Steve. He's broken on every stage except Smashville sometimes. So, man, I don't know what to say here.
Yeah, I don't really know
We're not
either.
getting the resources we need. We're not getting the kills we need. But Speak of the devil here, we are absolutely getting the resources we need after that large knockback there.
Still no, okay, now we got the diamond.
On
but
board.
It's going to be hard to find time to craft this.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, never mind.
First stock's coming out, doing better than the Rob was. We have a second diamond for the non-existent next stock that we would have, but you know, nice to have that. So something a lot of people probably don't know is that, so diamond, when you craft it, it takes longer than the other things to craft, right? But when you're repairing with diamond, it actually takes the same amount as everything else. So until you break a diamond tool, it will always take a decreased amount of time. So having that diamond, I would love to see it right about now where you get the repair because you have this wall built. But, you know, maybe I'm just kind of talking. Wow. You know, I understand the idea from Lucky here because it's, you know, Steve Wall, how do you approach this? But, like, we are really letting Flats kind of get his materials back. And, man, what do you do? Yeah, that's a reasonable taunt. We can't hear it as much on stream, but he hit the fight me. Ooh,
that was late. That was like a really fortunate trade there. I think that's something that's almost impossible to line up purposely, but not that up smash. And good stuff, Lucky.
Very, very good showing from Lucky. Stumbling a little bit in that second stock as we saw the resources kind of flowing, and that's why I was talking about how this is a great snowball stage for Steve, right? Because you get stone and iron, and those are just beautiful blocks to have.
Yeah.
When you're walling people out. You have two different resource pools, so you can get diamonds a little bit more consistently.
All right, I think I'm gonna get up.